Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Farming Simulator 25 map guide. Today we're going to be taking a look at Multimap. But before that, this video is brought to you by Jimmy Anderson and Scooter's Workbench. Thank you for being farm barons. So the Multimap can be found at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu, and as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for PC and Mac players only. Now that is because this is a 4X map, and we've yet to see a 4X map be released and stay released on console. Now, in addition, this is a very large map, not only in file size of the map itself, but this map has 4 required mods, and once you combine in the size of the map and the size of those required mods, we're looking at a total download size of just over 1 gigabyte. Those required mods are the digital display, wide garage, large shed, and map supplementary package. Let's go ahead and read you the description. The history of Multimap goes back to FS13. The name Multimap stood for multi-fruit and multi-production. Arriving in FS25, it stands more for multiple productions. The landscape is fictitious, but located, ideally, somewhere in Germany. This is a 4X map. There are 42 fields, ranging in size from 7 to 62 hectares. There are 4 pre-placed farms, 41 pre-installed productions, and most productions are going to require electricity to operate, and to that extent, there are electricity sources available on the map. There are 21 cell stations, as well as 70 purchasable farmlands. The animal areas have been extended for multiple animals or larger animal numbers and larger food capacities. There are 3 open spaces to build out whatever you want, and each farm has a free water point. The FS25 map supplementary package mod is required to play this map. The mod pack contains all production sites and sale outlets for this map, and if you go to that particular mod, you will see that it's also theoretically something that you could add to any other map on your gameplay. There is a German version of a manual available at Valpass's GitHub. You have a link to that right there in the description. Now let's jump back over here to the map itself and, well, take a look at the PDA. We start up by owning Farmland ID 43 as well as Farmland ID 44 at the start. That is basically the main starting farm. 43 is going to be the arable farm, if you will, and 44 is going to be the animal farm with the animal areas of chickens, pigs, cows, and sheep. In addition to the arable and animal farms, well, we also own Farmland ID 24, 23, 15, as well as Field 11. Now, as far as the other farms on this map, well, we have a cow farm at Farmland ID 47, which we could buy for $384,864. We also have a cow farm at Farmland ID 45, and we can buy that for $619,296. We then additionally have a sheep area at Farmland ID 64, that is located right here, for $254,496. And then we have another cow farm located up here at Farmland ID 46 for $663,072. Now, back with respect to our starting farm, should we choose to not own the farm at the start, well, then clearly we would not own any of this land. We also do not own any of the starting machinery, but all the buildings are pre-placed exactly how you see them here by owning the starting farm. You can sell pretty much everything at all of these 4 farms, including all of the decorational items. So if you wanted to, you can completely wipe out any or all of these farms and really start from scratch. As far as buildable sites, we have a buildable site at Farmland ID 67, Farmland ID 70, and Farmland ID, let me check my notes, 56, up here to the northeast corner. Now, there are a multitude of productions on this map, including a biogas plant. The BGA is going to be located right here, kind of just to the east of Farmland ID 9. You will have to own most of these productions in order to make use of them. As far as our crops go, this map does include all the standard crops available to us in Farm Sim 25, and as such, well, we could also use straw harvest on this map if we wish. Now, with respect to the precision farming soil map, this map is making use of a custom soil map. So let's go ahead and see how that looks once it's applied to the fields. Now, I must apologize. I was simply looking at the game log, which was indicating that the map was going to pull its soil map from the mod map itself, which leads you to believe that it is a custom soil map, but this is not. This is the Riverbend Springs soil map that is a part of the precision farming mod, because we can easily follow the bend in the river north and then back south in loamy sand soil type. With respect to our crop counter, we do have a standard FS25 crop counter available to us on this map. And our animals, as I mentioned, we start out by owning a chicken coop, pigsty, cow barn, and sheep, but we do not have any animals. In fact, none of the animal areas have any animals at the start. We do have plenty of contracts, though, available, and you can see those here, including deadwood, rock removal, and wood transport, the new contracts for Farm Sim 25. And with respect to productions, each farm is going to have production or energy generation and energy storing sources. So as we go and buy additional farms for this video, then we will see more of those sources listed here in owned. And then we have a multiple list of productions listed here. We're going to have a completely different section of this video dedicated to productions. Go ahead and look for that link down in the description as far as the timestamp. With respect to sell points, I counted them up. I got to 22, 23. So 21 to 23 is going to be your count. There's a lot of sell points. This map would be ideal for multiplayer. You can have multiple people per farm and multiple farms. So you can really maybe max out the server at a total of 16 players, operate all 4 farms, and, well, try to run all 47 or 41 of the productions that are pre-placed. We're going to take a rundown through our starting machinery here in a little bit, but with respect to our collectibles, while this map does show that there are 25 collectibles, that is not correct. I did run the command to show all collectibles, and nothing popped up on the PDA when I was taking a look. So I do believe that is just a remnant of using the Riverbend Springs map as its basis on this mod map. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting fleet. So we take a look at our garage menu. We start out with the Kodiak Skoda vehicle. We also have the Dutzfar 8280 TTV medium tractor. We've got the Volvo FH16780 semi, as well as the Valtra S Series 286 and the Fendt 1050 Vario large tractor. We got the Farm Tech DDK 2400 trailer, as well as the Krone Profiliner semi trailer. We have the PW 112 plow. We also have the Ultima 800 seeder. We have the Amazon ZG TS 10001 fertilized spreader. For our harvesting, we have the Evian 450 from Ploss. We have the Vario 620 header and the Massey Ferguson 8570 header trailer. We got the Swatter TS 970 windrower. We have the Tygo 75 VRD forage wagon and the Big M 450 for our mower. We have the Lizard MKS 35, and this is a modded trailer. As you can see, it's going to hold a lot more fill types and many of the custom fill types that are part of the various productions on this map. And then lastly, we wrap it all up with the trusty old power washer. Now, with respect to mods and DLCs and custom vehicles and machinery, well, we have both custom vehicles and machinery for the supplementary package and the map itself. With respect to the map itself, we have the Profiliner, and it has been set up with all of these new fill types that are, again, part of the massive production pack that is available. And then we have the map supplementary package, which is going to have custom animal trailers in the NOAA TTW 140. We also have the Silver Star, we have the MKS 35, which we already talked about being modified. We have the FH16 methane powered variant and the MKS liquid tanker that again has been set up to work with the custom fill types that are on this map. Now, for the sake of the production run through, I've gone ahead and purchased the other farms. Again, that's going to be farmland ID 47, 46, and 45. And as a result, well, you can see we now own lots of energy creation, energy storing, fermenters, and grass dryers, because each farm is going to have its own. We have a carport with power generation. It's going to take solar energy and make electrical charge. We have that at each of the 4 farms that are pre-placed on this map. We also have multiple energy stores, again, at each farm, and it's going to basically collect energy and store energy so you can then distribute it around to your various productions. We've got a fermenter at each farm. It's going to take chaff and electricity and convert that into silage. We also have a grass dryer at each of the 4 farms that are again going to take electricity and grass and convert those into hay. Now, with respect to the available productions, let's go run down through this. We have our BGA. It's going to be able to make electric charge, methane, and digestate from either manure or silage. We have our canning factory, which is set up to require electric charge, as well as our various inputs for our various canned outputs. We also have, in addition to the standard canning factory productions, we have vegan bean stew, which is going to be electrical charge, green beans, potatoes, carrots, salt, garlic, and spring onion, and vegan pea stew, which is going to be electric charge, peas, potatoes, carrots, salt, garlic, and spring onions. We have our carpentry, which is set up to make our furniture, as well as wooden toys. Again, we're going to require electric charge and planks, or long planks, or wood for our furniture, and electric charge and wooden beams for our wooden toys. Our cement factory is going to require electric charge and stones for our brick. We're going to require electric charge and stones for our bags, and electric charge and stones for our roof plate. Our cheese factory for our buffalo milk, cheese, and goat cheese is going to require electrical charge of buffalo milk, salt, electrical charge milk and salt, or electrical charge goat milk and salt. We have our chocolate factory, and at our chocolate factory, we're going to be able to make standard chocolate with electric charge cocoa powder, cocoa butter, and sugar. We're going to be able to make the good old milk chocolate with electric charge cocoa powder, cocoa butter, milk powder, and sugar. And we're going to be able to make some pralines with electrical charge cocoa powder, cocoa butter, milk powder, and sugar. Our clothing factory is going to be able to make not only clothing, but also sweaters and other textiles. All of those are going to require electric charge and fabric, electric charge and cotton and wool, or electric charge and cotton. We have a cocoa press. It's going to require electric charge and cocoa beans, and then electric charge and cocoa beans for our cocoa powder or butter. We have our dairy, which is going to be able to make banana milk, electric charge, banana milk, sugar, empty pallets, and cardboard. We have our buffalo milk bottle, goat milk butter. We have cream, electric charge milk, and empty pallets. Then we also have our milk powder, electric charge milk, and empty pallets. Oat drink, electric charge oat, salt, empty pallets, and cardboard. Salted butter, electric charge milk, salt, and empty pallets. Soy drink, electric charge soybean sugar, empty pallets, and cardboard. And strawberry milk, electric charge strawberries, milk, sugar, empty pallets, and cardboard. We have our delicatessen potato salad, garden salad, whatever salads production. We have carrot salad, electric charge, carrots, sugar, vinegar, empty pallets, and cardboard. It's also going to make carrot salad, pomace, and vitamins. We have garden salad, electric charge, lettuce, vinegar, sugar, empty pallets, and cardboard. Again, we have our vitamins and pomace as outputs there. Mixed salads. Well, we're going to have electric charge, tomatoes, carrots, potatoes, lettuce, spring onion, chilies, garlic, onions, Napa cabbage, oyster mushrooms, enoki, salt, sunflower oil, empty pallets, and cardboard. Potato salad is electric charge, potatoes, spring onion, salt, vinegar, empty pallets, and cardboard. And tomato salad, electric charge, tomatoes, spring onion, salt, sunflower oil, empty pallets, and cardboard. Our feed factory is going to be able to make pig food or TMR. Pig food is going to require electric charge, potatoes, sorghum, oats, and soybeans, whereas TMR, electric charge, straw, silage, hay, and mineral feed. We have the ability to make herbicide, liquid fertilizer, seed, and solid fertilizer. All of that's going to require electric charge. Then we have for our herbicide, stone salt and vinegar. For our liquid fertilizer, slurry and solid fertilizer. For our seed, barley and solid fertilizer. And for our solid fertilizer, it's going to be electric charge, pomance, and digestate. We have the ability to make fizzy spritz, juice drinks. We have beet juice, carrot juice, grape juice, strawberry juice, and tomato juice. All of those are going to require electric charge. And red beet in empty pallets, carrots in empty pallets, grapes in empty pallets, strawberries in empty pallets, and tomatoes and salt and empty pallets. Are we halfway through? No. We have our grain mill for our traditional flours, and all of those are going to require electric charge as well as the various grain inputs for that flour. We're going to get flour and pomance as an output. We have multiple greenhouses. We have a chili greenhouse, seed, solid fertilizer, and water. No electric charge. For our peppers, garlic, lettuce, Napa cabbage, spring onion, strawberries, and tomatoes. All pretty much the same general recipe. We have our ice cream factory. We're back to needing electricity. We have chocolate and strawberry ice cream. Those are going to require pretty much the same inputs of electric charge, milk, sugar, empty pallets, and cardboard, as well as chocolate or strawberries, depending on the type. We have our industrial bakery for our bread flour, our bread from regular flour, our bread from rice flour. We have the ability also to make buns and our cakes. With respect to our buns, it's going to be electric charge, flour, salt, and empty pallets. And everything else is going to require electric charge also. Lime, well, we're going to be able to take diesel fuel and make lime. No stones required. Our oil mill is going to be able to do all of our traditional oils with electric charge and the associated crop. And it's also going to make some pomance as outputs. We have an empty pallet factory, electric charge, planks, and wooden beams. Potato processor, we're going to make nice mashed potatoes, electric charge, potatoes, milk, salt, empty pallets, and cardboard. French fries for electric charge, potatoes, salt, empty pallets, canola oil, and cardboard. And then we have potato chips, where we have the option of either doing canola or sunflower, but we're also going to have to provide electric charge, potatoes, empty pallets, cardboards, and salt. We have our pulp factory for cardboard, and then cartons and paper rolls. All of these are going to require electric charge, as well as to wood chips and corn, or wood and corn, or wood and corn also. We have our diesel refinery for either diesel or DEF. We're going to require electric charge in sunflowers or electric charge in canola for our diesel, electric charge in digestate or electric charge in slurry for our DEF. We can make ropes with electricity in cotton or wool. Saline, here comes our salt. We're going to be able to make road salt with electric charge in stone salt. And then we're going to be able to get road salt and sodium chloride out of that. Or we can make regular salt. We need brine and straw in order to get regular salt. The salt mine is going to be able to make brine from diesel and stone salt from diesel as well. We have our sawmill, where we're going to be able to get firewood, long planks and regular planks, prefab walls, and wooden beams. Firewood is going to require electric charge in wood. Our rest of our stuff is also going to require electric charge in wood, and we're going to get either wood chips or the product of choice. Our spinnery is going to be able to make canvas fabric from cotton or wool and electricity, as well as fabric from cotton and wool and electricity. We have a straw processor where we can clean straw. We don't want that dirty straw. With electric charge and regular straw, we can make drinking straws with electric charge straw and empty pallets, and we can make hats from electric charge straw and empty pallets. Our sugar mill, we're going to be able to make sugar multiple ways with sugar beets or sugar cane, electric charge, empty pallets, and cardboard as well. We're going to make sugar beet syrup with sugar beets, empty pallets, cardboard, and electricity. Or we can make vinegar with electric charge and sugar beets. And then last and least is our upholstery factory. We're going to be able to make armchairs, electric charge, clean straw, fabric, and empty pallets, rolled mattress with electric charge, clean straw and fabric, and a seat cushion with electric charge, clean straw, fabric, wood, wool, empty pallets, and cardboard. Ooh, that was quite the run through. Let's go ahead and take a look at build mode. Since we do have 4 required mods, we do have some modded vehicles, buildings, and other such things that are listed here under our build mode. For example, we have our shelters, and we can go in here and obviously configure those. And we can add solar panels to those. And if we do, well, then we're also going to be able to produce electricity with those, which of course is going to be needed for all of those productions that are going to require electric charge. We have multiple silos, including some modded silos, also included with the map. Modded silo extensions for our manure and slurry. Modded storage containers for various things, like a buy station for our grapes, cocoa beans, and olives, as well as storage for various things. We have the digital signage that is part of the required mods. Under our factories, all of those factories that I just did a run through are all listed here because, of course, they're all part of the map's supplementary package. And in theory, you should be able to add those to your own mod map gameplay. Lastly, with respect to ground textures, we've got all of our standard FS25 ground textures, trees, and plants. Let's go ahead and take a tour of our starting farm and the other farms. So we have our sleep trigger and our wardrobe trigger here at our farmhouse. And let's kind of do a clockwise rotation here. This is going to be our energy storage building. So energy is going to come in and energy is going to go out. It's basically a giant battery. We have multiple sheds here with solar panels, and these are all kind of numbered as to which bay you have. So you have a 4-bay shed there. You've got 2 3-car garages or 3-bay garages. We've got our big shed here with, I believe it's 12 or 13 bays for vehicles and or machinery. We actually have 2 large silos here on our starting farm, and they are distinctively different. So each is going to store different things. This is going to store our grain, whereas our other silo is going to store vegetables. And we do have these display boards, which will show us basically what we have in each. Over here along the perimeter of our farm, we do have storage silos. This is going to be for fertilizer, seed, and lime. You see our starting field up there with our harvester already pre-placed. Again, all of this stuff can be sold. You want to rearrange it or just minimize what you have here. Got some large machine sheds. We're going to have storage for liquid fertilizer and herbicide as well. So those are right there. This is going to be storage for stones. With a wash bay. Then we have the root crop silo. We have storage for diesel and storage for DEF. We also have a methane and a electric power charging station. Now if we go across the other side of this fence or this wall, which can also be sold, we're going to come over to the animal farm aspect. So go across the street. Here we go. And these are all going to be base game animal areas. So we have our pigs. So we have our food deposit point, and then our pig point This is going to be set up for 1,137 pigs. Our chicken coop is going to be behind the pigs. And of course, the other side of the building, we have our slurry point. We're going to be able to do a total of 2,020 chickens. We have a cow building with feeding robot. So we have our slurry point. And with our feeding robot, we have our mineral feed. And then we have our silage, hay, and straw. Of course, our feeding trough is inside the building. You can either feed with the robot or you can feed manually. On this side of the building, we're going to have our animal delivery point. 2,013 cows in this building. And then we have our milk point. Another easy shed with, of course, solar power. And we're going to come over here to our sheep and goats. So we have our food, and then this building is going to be able to support 654 sheep or goats. We're a large contractor style building here with a maintenance trigger. We have a little storage building over here as well. We have the water trigger that the description was talking about. And then we're going to have our hay dryer and our fermenter over here as well. So we have our dryer and then our fermenter. Right there, conveniently labeled fermenter. And then lastly, we have so that's our grass dryer, that's our fermenter, that's just feed storage. I don't really read German, so yeah. So here we have our starting farm, the kind of the arable aspect of that. And then we have our starting animal farm portion over here across the street. Let's go ahead and make our way to the northeast corner. That's where we're going to find the second farm that we're going to take a look at. That's going to be at farmland ID 46. I believe that's what that says. And while we're making our way over there, I will tell you that this map plays extremely well on low-powered systems. I was looking at frame rates anywhere between mid-40s to 50s as far as FPS. And that, of course, is using my modified custom medium settings with FSR FrameGen enabled. So while we were able to generate mid-40s to low 50s as far as frames, visually to our eye, we were looking at frame rates 90 to 100 FPS plus. Here at this farm, we have our farmhouse, wardrobe, and sleep trigger. We're going to have our wash bay. We have our water trigger. There's some garage storage. Right, we have stone storage. Some more machine storage. And then we're going to have storage for our animal feed. We have our root crop silo as well as our standard silo. So we have our grain silo there, our root crop vegetable silo there. Behind that, we're going to have our cow barn. And this particular barn is set up for 2,013 cows. I believe that was the number of the cows at the other building. So it might be that all these animal areas are set up pretty much the same. Got another large machine storage shed 12 bays there. We're going to have storage for lime, seed, fertilizer, liquid fertilizer, and herbicide. We have our grain dryer, and we have our fermenter. We have our battery building, and we have def and diesel storage. Here we have one of those buildable sites, farmland ID 56. Now let's make our way back south along the eastern edge of the map to the third player farm. That's going to be a farmland ID 47. Once again, this is going to be a cow farm. So we have the feeding robot cow building located right here with, guess what, 2,013 cows. As we've seen with the other farms, well, we're going to have our fermenter. We're going to have our feed storage. We're going to have liquid and solid or liquid fertilizer and herbicide storage as well. We've got two silos, one for our root crops, our vegetables, one for our grain. We have then also stone storage, lime, seed, and solid fertilizer storage. Multiple machine sheds, def and diesel storage, methane and electric power. Then we're going to have our feed storage. We have a service bay here. We have a wash bay. We have our battery bay and our farmhouse. And again, more storage and across the street in this little area. Let's take this road to the south, which will land us to the fourth and final player farm. Right here. So once again, we're going to have vehicle and equipment storage. We have our stone storage. We're going to have our dryer or animal feed, one of those two. We have our fermenter. We have our charging station, our methane station, our maintenance shed, lime, seed, solid fertilizer, wash bay. We have our silo for grain. We also have our silo for our vegetable crops. Our farmhouse is over here. Def and diesel storage, liquid fertilizer, liquid herbicide, animal feed. You got the gist of what's going on here. And then we have our cow building. Again, 2,013 cows. Now let's do a rundown of the sell points and productions on this map. And to do that, I went ahead and jumped up here to the northwest corner because I think we're going to do kind of a counterclock or clockwise rotation. At least we're going to go across the northern part of the map to the east. Then I think we're going to drop down a little bit. We're going to make our way back to the west. And then we're just going to kind of zigzag back and forth until we've hit all of the areas. And we conclude ourselves down here in the southern part of the map. I went and looked up the multi-map video for FS22. That was nearly 2 hours long. Hopefully this one's not going to be that long, but you never know. So here we are in the extreme northwest corner. We have 3 sell points. They kind of have the warehouse icon on them, but we have the boat builder up here. We also have the cafe by the lake, and we have the pizzeria. These are all going to be sell points. So here we have our boat builder. We have our cafe by the lake. And then we have our pizzeria. If we continue to make our way along the northern road, got the little deco castle going on there. And over here to our right, well, we're going to find our rope production. We've already talked about what it's going to take to make ropes. Right, so we have that there. Just past that, we have a farmer's market sell point. And then over here, this is going to be Frizzy Spiz for our fizzy drinks. Continuing to make our way along this road, we're going to hang a left here at the intersection. And up here, we're going to find our sawmill. That's going to be between fields 3 and 2. So we have our sawmill located right there. Farmland ID 55. Going across the northern part of the map, we're coming back over here to the farm that we were just at a little bit ago. But there's other things around the farm that we really didn't talk about during that video. That would be this location right here. And that's going to be the sugar mill. Down from that, and we have the build site. And just south of our player farm, well, we're going to find our northeast supermarket, our gas station to the northeast, and a gas station northeast charging station, or sell station and gas station buy. It's buy gas. Right, sell station there. We can sell at the gas station our diesel and DEF that we make, and then we can, of course, buy gas here as well. Come south along the eastern side of the map a little bit. We're going to come to our sugar factory. Sorry, our pulp plant. Our lime mine, and then our carpentry. See, I saw the Z, and I thought, oh, that's sugar. Nope. So we have our lime mine. Remember, all the lime mine requires is diesel to produce lime. Then our carpentry. We have our pallet factory. Then right across the way, we have our fruit trade east. Right here. Let's make our way kind of northwest to another production. This is going to be the fertilizer and seed factory. Continuing diagonally, we're coming over here to the next production, which is going to be our refinery. And then we have the grain mill directly beside that. So here we have a refinery for our DEF and diesel production. We have our grain mill. We're going to have another grocery sell point here. Toy and furniture store, supermarket, and then over here we've got a ton going on. We have the BGA. We have all sales at the BGA. We also have the biomass heating plant sell point. We have electric charging station, and then we have buy points for pretty much our grapes, our cocoa, and our olives. And then we have buy points for all of our various things over here. So go take a look at that. Again, we have our BGA. We have three-sided silage bunkers. Nice BGA storage shed here. We're going to have our biomass heating plant, sell point for logs and wood chips. We have our maintenance area here. We have the sell or buy everything BGA plant there. And then we're going to have our fruit buying for our grapes, cocoa butter, and our cocoa beans and olives. And then we're going to have buy stations for manure, seed, fertilizer, lime, liquid herbicide, liquid fertilizer, and then we can sell our liquid manure, so slurry, and a buy point for digestate. Continue to make our way west across the map. We're going to come to a collection of productions. So we have the debris crusher and a sell point of the big farmer's kiosk. Further west, we're going to find the warehouse. We're going to find our chocolate factory. We're going to find the oil mill. We're going to find the industrial bakery, and then our motel. There we have the farmer's kiosk. The warehouse. Our chocolate factory. Oil mill. Industrial bakery. And then we have a motel sell point. Make our way south a little bit more. And this is the sheep area. We forgot about the sheep area when we were looking at those 4 farms. So here we have 2 sheep and goat areas. Let me go ahead and buy these because I also forgot to purchase those. And once we buy those, well, we're going to be able to have 654 sheep or goats in each of these. Right, so we have our buy point, we have our food, we have our milk and wool. Then another 654. Got a couple sheds over here. A lot of areas where you can build out some additional things. Then just to the southeast of that, we're going to find some more production in the upholstery factory. We have the spinnery. And then right behind us, we have our clothing factory. If we continue to make our way kind of around this road area, we're going to come over here to a collection of greenhouses. Remember, these were the various single crop greenhouses that we had in our productions. So we have greenhouses for Napa cabbage, chili, garlic, spring onions, tomatoes, strawberries, and lettuce. Then we have our straw processor right here. We continue to make our way east. We have our starting farm, which we've already talked about. Just north of the starting farm, though, we do have some sell points. So we're going to have the central supermarket, the kiosk. We also have the cocoa press production. So our cocoa press. Then south of the starting farm, well, we're going to find our vehicle dealer. Let's go ahead and pick something up. We've got a large pad here for new vehicles and machinery. Then we have our dealer trigger located right here. We have another fuel point so we can sell things like DEF and diesel. And we can buy things like diesel. We'll kind of make our way diagonally a bit back to the west side of the map. And here we have our animal dealer. So we have our trigger there for buying our animals. Continuing west. Another cell station over here is going to be located as Vacation Village. To the south of that, we have the buildable site in Farmland ID 67. We're also going to have our gas station west, sell point and buy point. We're going to have our feed factory, and then we have the fruit trade southwest. So there we have our build site. Another fuel point, buy and sell station, right? Production we talked about. And then the fruit selling station we talked about. Continuing around the southern part of this road. We're going to make our way over here to the woods. We're going to find another sell point. That's going to be labeled the Hotel Waldslust. Okay. Continuing across the southern part of the map. Come over here to, this is going to be the Salt Works, the Saline Factory. And then we have our DIY store. Located right here. So there's, you have a sell point for various things. We have the Southern Farm, which we've already taken a look at. North of that, we're going to have another fuel point for buying fuel and selling fuel in def. Another gas, or not gas station, grocery store. Couple more productions. We have our cheese and our delicatessen salad plant right here. Did we talk about the restaurant El Tor? I don't think we did. Let's make our way up here to that. So that's right there. This is kind of the middle eastern farm. And then we have our potato chip processor, our potato plant right there. Circling back around, we have a salt mine located here, Farmland ID 58. And then we're going to wrap things up. We have our cement factory, we have our canning factory, and then we have another build site. Cement, canning our preserved foods, and our build site. And folks, that is the multi-map. This is a massive 4X map, ideal for multiplayer, ideal for people that want to play with big machinery and want to play big with respect to productions, and the aspect that everything is going to require electricity is kind of another unique aspect. You can put down additional buildings that have solar generation. Didn't really show that, I guess, but if we come here to our factories, come over here to generators, we have windmills, we have also solar arrays that we can put down. Then, of course, we can put down buildings that do have solar arrays on them as well that are going to then collect things. We can store that in our batteries, and then we can distribute it out to our productions. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Have you played multi-map in the past, and are you going to give it a try currently? Till next time, happy farming.